Welcome to Marketing 247 Consumer Behavior Online and What is Required for My Research Project by Dr. George Mochocki. You will be turning in a formal paper at the end of this course. And what's required? In Blackboard, I've created for you, if you go into your Blackboard, you've already been in your Blackboard because you found this clip in here. When you're in the research paper mode things under basic requirements for the paper, I'll click that on. And what you'll see in the basic requirements for the paper is, in a nutshell, what is required. So here's what you're going to do. For this class, you're going to be doing a basic research on the selected topic with the main theme in uncovering consumer behaviors for the topic as your first step of an integrated marketing strategy. So when you take me for Marketing 245, Principles of Marketing, a component of the business plan is that you thoroughly understand your customer. So what you'll be doing after this paper, you've selected a topic, either it's a business, a product, existing product, a new product, and you're going to find out, you're going to identify this product, you're going to identify where you're going to sell this product, you're identifying this through the market analysis, you're identifying what customer has a need for this product, because now we're going to target this product depending on the consumer's behavior. So now you have a product, you know where we're going to a geographic area or a town, or you know, from previous readings, you're going to find out the different generations, different social class, different business class, different cultural ethnicity, different levels. Am I a new what do you call it, individual in this country, or am I American within this country? When I say American within this country, I'm basically meaning that I've been here forever. I already picked up the American attributes and the way as American consumer thinks. Okay, so that's your main topic. So now what's required? You're going to go in and what I want everyone to do is open up a file. Go right into your Blackboard, into your computer, into your Word document, whatever you're utilizing. Click in there, go Harper College, Marketing 247, Consumer Behavior, Research Paper, whatever the title you're going to do right now. That's all you're going to do. Then what I want you to go in there, if you notice on this paper, when you're looking in, requirement for the research paper, you have 8 topics or 8 headers. Executive summary, product and service, number 2, the niche, or who you're targeting. Number 4 are who are your customers. That's what you're going to find out, your consumer behavior. You have to know which customer. And don't say everyone. We want everyone. But look, if I'm selling skateboarding, sure, you're going to have some baby boomers going to buy skateboarding, but basically it's going to be your Generation Y and Generation X the type of individual that's going to be buying and utilizing skateboards. Okay, so who are your customers? Your customers' behavior tendencies. So now you identify the customers. Now you can do research is what are the behavior. You're going to be generalized. You're going to find information. There's a lot of sites from the book. There's other sites that I'll provide for you, but you're going to find that out. Now, what would you? Now that's number, and then so number 6 would be what would you use to motivate them, or at least buy or look at your product and bring them back. That's the whole thing. If I understand their behavior, I know what triggers, I know what to stimulate them, I know how to motivate them, and that's what you're learning through this whole reading and this course you're taking right now, is how to understand and decipher one's behavior. Remember, the same thing you're going to learn here in a consumer's behavior, an individual, is you can use the same thing when you're looking for promotion. What's the behavior of my supervisor, or if I'm looking for a mate or making a new friendship, what's his or her behavior, and I could know how to market myself and sell the product. Okay, so those are the 5 headers. So remember, in the Word document you've created at home, Marketing 247, Consumer Behavior, you've got those 5 headers. Now what you'll be doing over the rest of the course, through the forms and everything else we're doing, you're going to be adding on to those headers. Those are the required headers. I know what I require is that each header is labeled, and then all your information that you find will be underneath the headers. Now, all papers if you look at this, has had the 8 headings. We just went through there. You have to have a minimum of 2,400 words, which is about 310 words per page, 7 or 8 pages. You could have a little bit more. Don't go like 50 pages. And you could if you want. But usually a paper at this level, remember, you're just right now just taking one component of a whole marketing scheme and just trying to find out everything you know about me as a consumer, or that group of consumers, how they buy, or so I could sell to them and market to them. Now, you have to, within the paper, you have to at least use 20 vocabulary concepts from your reading, and they have to be identified by bold. You can have more than 20, but that's a minimum of 20. And what you're going to be doing, you're going to put them in a bold. So this way, when you're writing a paper on the different subject areas, you're utilizing and reinforcing what you've already read in the book. And it's one thing to have all this book knowledge. Now what this paper is going to do is take this book knowledge, and you're going to come up with a product or understanding, an action plan, or from all your research, you're going to give me this a 2,400 word paper, which will be submitted to me in Blackboard, not through an email, underneath a homework assignment, and it will be either in a Word document that's a DOC or a docx if it's Word 2010, or an RTF file, rich text file, if in case you don't have Word, you save as, or a PDF file, and it'll be submitted through in Blackboard under the appropriate weekly, homework research paper file underneath the last week within this course, and you'll attach that in there. And then later on, I'll have a quick little clip on how to attach my homework. It'd be similar to how you'd be attaching the homework. I already have the clip created from another school in Blackboard, even though it's got the other school logo. It's another community college, but it's still the same Blackboard, so it gives you the same mechanism. All my Blackboards are set up the same way. Okay, so you'll have that. You have the 20 vocabularies out of the book. Remember, you want the whole thing. You'll have 6 or more outside sources, your resources. What are your demographic? What are this type of a customers? Did you go into the Chamber of Commerce? Did you go into what do you call it, SBA Gov worksite? Did you go into other work sites that has data about my consumer, so I understand everything else? So I know something about my competitors. Where did you find this information? And now look, what I'm asking for is an APA citation. You don't have to do the whole paper in APA if you're not familiar with it, but in Microsoft Word 2010, when you look at reference on the top portion, you will see reference, insert reference. You say APA version 5 or version 6. The citation is the same, and you say insert citation, and what it'll do, it'll tell you if I'm taking it from a web, if I'm taking it from a journal. You just put in the information, put it in there, and it'll put it into your document. And at the end, you'll have, if you are not citing it verbatim, but using it as a bibliography, make sure you have the bibliography at the end. If I'm looking at the bibliography and all that, I'm not counting that as the 2,400 words. I'm looking at your content on the inside of the information you're doing for the 8 subject areas. All right. Now, you'll also be required to write as a college level. We're looking at mechanism. I'm looking at grammar. I'm looking at spell check. I'm looking at you could write full sentences, and it's in the narrative, in the paragraph form. There's no grammar errors. Remember, a lot of the word processing programs will do your spell check. There should be no spelling errors at all. You should have it by grammar. There's a grammar check. Even though it can maybe not be the best, but it gives you an idea. Hey, this area looks a little bit problematic according to the system or the computer. And then you'll submit that in to me, and we should be all good. Now, the other thing that I've included underneath that feasibility tab is my mind map. Now, if I look at my mind map, so now you have conceptual the mechanism, what I'm requiring for. I've provided 2 levels of mind map in a PDF file. So the first one you click on will be a level 4. It's a basic mind map. It has all the 8 titles on there, like general information. It has 8, written narrative, no bullet form, college level, PDF file. Excuse me. It tells you about the abstract. It tells you about the product and services, what I'm looking underneath the topic. And what this concept map does, It gives you the second level. So now you can start putting information. What does he want underneath it here? I'm looking at a promotion. What do I want here? Now, when you close this one off and you go back to the file, there's another one that's right underneath there. It says Marketing 247, Research Paper, Consumer Behavior, my name, and Full Mind Map. You click on this full mind map, and this one you could print out, or you could print it out, when you print it out as 1 page or 2 page, you click on this one. I'm trying to click on it. It's taking a little time for me. It's a little slow. But what you'll find out on that one, it's a little more detailed mind map. It has everything else that you want on here. So if you look at this one, this mind map here is basic, has everything that I'm looking for. So I'll look at this mind map, and I'll look at this one, has more detail. So when I look at a product and service, it tells me about the market analysis. What will customers bring here? What are my competition? Research the market. Who are my potential markets? Which market? First, you're researching. You've got the idea of the product. You find out about consumer. Look, unless I'm doing a global thing, even globally or internationally, I have to know at least a geographic, what type of consumer, what the triggers are, how they buy, how they find information, generation, social class, income, all that information. Then you go on 3, the niche. Who are you targeting? Why? And it talks about the size of the market. It talks about the different trends. Who are my customers? A little bit like a customer profile, but it's a lot more detail. If I look at this, it's more detail in it. So when you're looking at that and you've got the heading, and now, right now at this point, just put in information. If I tell something about the customer, I find out, put it in there. Don't worry about making it flow as a paragraph at this point. You're just filling in the 8 headers, and then when it's closer to the end of the class, when the paper's due, you have all this information. Now what you do is start formatting it, putting it in a sentence, make sure it flows, make sure if you're making a statement that it's supported by either some citation or some research. Make sure when you're talking about consumers that I know what consumer, what generation that individual is, what social class that individual is, what is his or her buying pattern, and how do those his and her buying patterns tie into the product you're serving. Remember, the brand has a personality. The brand has certain ways to reach people. How are you going to reach these people? What kind of media are you going to look at? It's a younger generation. They're more on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. If it's a baby boomer, they're still using the old newspaper. They may go online, but maybe not as much as another type of individual. Or am I in an area, if I'm targeting someplace where it's a lower economic type of a customer. He or she doesn't have the resources, or maybe they may not have a computer. They may not have some of that stuff. They may not go on using the smartphone. How do I attract these customers? How do they make their buying decision? And if they're on a limited buy, so they're more of a thrift buyer. If I'm an innovator, I have more of a resources. I'm more of a higher end buyer, so I'm willing to spend more. I'm looking more for a brand name. It depends on your product, right? So that's your paper. So remember, 8 headings, 2,400 words, 6 citation. One of them, it could be from the book. If you look at, I don't know where to find a citation. If you find the chapter or anything else, if you look in the back of the book, your book that you're reading now, it's a brand new book. They've got all kind of websites, and they also have the citations or bibliography that the author used to write this book. So you can utilize some of them out of sight and see what they have to cite. But you have to cite it inside or put it in a bibliography, and you will turn it in as a Word document, and you'll get the grade you had. You could do all these things, and the rubrics can look at your mechanism, your grammar. It's going to look that you turned in the paper on time, that you followed the proper format, that you used the 20 or more concepts and vocabulary. Look, when you're using the concept and vocabulary, whether you're in my class or any class, any kind of research paper, if I'm taking the class of marketing, you just better start using marketing terms. When I'm talking to a customer, when I'm talking to my boss, when I'm talking to my peers, when I'm talking to my colleagues, I have to be able to use the terminology that's being is an acceptable form of language. It shows me that I understand the verbiage. It shows me I understand the concepts, and it gives me credibility, and it validates that I know what I'm talking about. All right, so you should do well on your paper. You have enough time. We'll use the forums within the the class to discuss it. If you're taking this class at a face-to-face class, you still have to turn in a paper and everything else. Only the discussions are going to, instead of a graded form, we'll be doing most of our discussions in a face-to-face format. So this works both ways. It's a research paper. It's easy to write. It's easy to do. I've basically created the whole outline. What I've gave you this skeleton, you now have to put in the substance and the facts and everything else to support. And then at the end, when I'm looking at the last thing you're going to do, the last one of the statement is your recommendation. After you did all this research, you're going to say, yes, this is a good recommendation. This is a product I should go. You may have done all this research and find out I've got the wrong customer, or I don't think this customer could afford this, or I'm going to have to do more work. But you already provided me a lot of information, and it just didn't come out. You say, at this point, I would not recommend this product going forward. Or in most cases, hopefully, you already thought this through, that this product is going forward. Here's my customers, and you kind of just summarize everything you did at the beginning. At the beginning, the executive summary, you tell me kind of what you're looking at, and at the recommendation, the ending is you're going to tell me your recommendations and your summary of what you found out from this paper. All right, so you do well, follow the templates, look at the YouTubes. You shouldn't do, you have everything you need. The forums, and we'll discuss it through the rest of the what do you call it, course time. You'll end up with a good product. You could use this as part of your portfolio as you're going to go into marketing. Hey, do you know anything about customer behavior? Yes, I did this whole thing on this product and I identified the customer. Then you take it from marketing. You do a marketing plan. I've done this. You take me for management and you do the management, how to manage this product. You take me for other courses, and you can start building a portfolio. What you want to do is have something when you go to your potential new career, looking for your interviews, or even another client. Here's what I've done. I understand it. I don't have all this. I have book knowledge, but I also have practicality because I could show it to you. All right, so good luck on your paper. I'm going to enjoy reading it. You submit the paper. I'll grade it. I'll look at it. I'll use the rubric that'll be attached with the paper, so you know exactly which areas you were weak in. I'll put in my comments, and you'll be surprised. You'll have a lot of fun with this paper. The whole thing is not. Don't look at it as a task. Look at it as a learning experience. I'm actually learning it, and I may be able to use this at work or down the future as a reference point. So again, my name is Dr. George Mochocki. This is a real quick overview. Look at all the supplemental information you have in Blackboard on writing your research paper. And every time you're writing any kind of paper, the theme and the way I want this paper presented is that you thoroughly understand who are your customers, what are their behaviors, generalize their behaviors, and how do I understand their behaviors, and what medias do I sell my or present my product to them, and what stimuluses do I need to trigger that behavior so they became a buying customer. And not only a buying customer, a customer that I could give them information, and a future customer coming back, a customer that looks at my store as the number one store, or number one product, or number one services that I'm providing to them, because I am the best, because I truly understand how they think, and I'm always there reinforcing the way they think. I'm not changing much, but I'm in the right point at the right time, presenting the right stimuli, because this is how they behave generally, or sometimes I may even change your behavior a little bit, but I'm doing it in a controlled manner. So have fun with the paper. I'm going to enjoy reading it. I learn a lot, and we both learn this forum, and keep up the good work in this course. My name is Dr. George Mochocki. Have a nice day. Bye.